you for clicking. Today I'm going to show you how to get this really fun purple and gold eye with a really dark vampy lip. Sorry for the background, I just did get a new computer, so sorry if you can see reflection. I'm going to get a backdrop soon, so hopefully everything will look a little bit better and no reflection in the background. I give you two lip options in this tutorial, a nude, which is this color, and then obviously the color that's on my lips. I had a lot of fun creating this look, and if you want to see how to get it, please keep watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and comment. Okay, so I do already have my brows on, and to start to prime the lids, today I'm going to take the MAC Paint Pot and Paint Relief, and I'm just going to take a concealer brush and put it all over my eyelids. Now to set the primer, I'm going to take this shadow from NYX. It's just a neutral skin tone shade. And I'm just going to take that on a flathead brush. And I'm not sure the shade name, but I will leave it listed down below. And I'm just going to set crease to brow bone and the lid so we have a really smooth base to blend on. Now to start blending into the crease, I'm going to take this shade right here called Silk in the Kat Von D, what is it called? The Metal Matte Palette, and I'm just going to take that on a MAC 221. I'm going to be sticking with pretty small brushes today so that we don't get too crazy when we start to blend. But first, I totally forgot, I'm going to take just some Scotch tape, and I'm just going to take two pieces and put them on the back of my hand, like so. And then I'm just going to peel them off, and I'm going to put them right here. And you can make the slant however you want. However, I suggest you don't go right into your lash line. You leave a little bit of space so that when you put on your lash line eyeshadow, it kind of blends instead of being off. So you just want to make them as even as possible. I think my brows are a little off. We'll fix it later. And we're just going to start blending that into the crease. Now to blend that out, I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush. This one is by Anastasia, and I'm just going to go over the edges. And we're going to basically do this between every step, just with a clean brush to make sure that it blends out really nicely. And also, I forgot to tell you, the tape, what it will do is it'll make sure that we have a nice clean edge, because when you work with purples and dark colors, but especially purples, it can kind of tend to give you, like, looks like a black eye. So by having the tape there, it will just help to avoid that by giving you a clean line. Now sticking with that same brush, we're going to take this color right here called Ribbon in the same palette, and we're going to repeat the exact same step.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me, hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, hold tight.
And I am also taking these shades onto the outer V of my eye because we are going to be applying shadow there too. So I'm just kind of prepping that by dragging the brush down. So next I'm going to take this shade by Makeup Geek. This is called Curfew, and this is just slightly warmer than, I sounded southern. This is just slightly warmer than the shade we just went in with, and I'm trying to find my brush. So again, just taking on the same brush, repeating the steps we've been doing.
Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you.
Now I'm going to switch to a slightly smaller brush. This is the Morphe M507. And I'm just going to pick up this shade by Makeup Geek. This is called Cherry Cola. And we're going to do the same thing, but we are going to keep it a little lower, which will be easier with this brush, so that those other colors show through. Because this has the most amount of pink undertone, I think, than the rest of them.
Told you to walk away. That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without your face.
Now I want to define the outer corner even more, so I'm going to take that same Cherry Cola color by Makeup Geek, but I'm going to switch to the e.l.f. brush. This is just a small packing brush. And I'm just going to pack it on the outer corner, starting closest to the tape, making sure to blend it into the crease, and then slowly blending it out. Now hopping back into the Kat Von D Matte Metals, or Metal Matte, I can't remember. Metal Matte palette. I'm going to take this white shade right here called Linen. And I'm just going to take that to the brow bone. Now you could totally go in and use this shade right here called Flash for the next step, but I just personally want it to be a little bit less coppery and more gold. So I'm going to hop over to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Shadow Couture palette, which this isn't selling anymore, but I believe you can still buy this separately. If you can't, I'll leave alternative shadows down below. But I'm just going to take my MAC 242 brush, and I'm going to take some eye drops, and what I do is I just put them on the back of my hand, just 1 or 2 drops. And then I'm going to dip my brush, make sure it's fully coated because we want it to be really, really wet. This will make the metallic and the shadow really pop. Now you can use water or saliva or Fix Plus or anything like that. I just like to use eye drops. And I'm going to go in with that metallic shade. I'm going to dust off the excess, and I'm just going to put that all over the lid.
Now I'm caught in the middle of life, and I need you to survive.
Now, since we did use the eye drops, this eyeshadow is wet, so if you have hooded lids, make sure you don't open your eyes before it's dry. Also, make sure you don't blend them together if you're not going to keep it cut like this, which I'm not. I don't think, let me, hold on. I don't know. I might keep it cut, but if you're not, be sure to wait for it to dry before you do anything else. Okay, so for the inner corner highlight, I'm going to take this Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powder. This is in the shade Cocoa Bling. And I recently bought this, and I was really, really excited because, you know, I've seen it all over Instagram and YouTube, and it's just really, like, intense, and I was like, I'm going to be so pumped. And I put it on my face, and I really didn't like it. At first, it was just glitter, which I'm not totally against because you can usually blend it in with a beauty blender, and it will look less glittery and more just, like, highlight. But when I put it on and I would blend it out, it kind of just all went off my face. Like, I would blend it, and it would just dust off, and there would be nothing there. So I'm not a huge fan of this for the face, but for the inner corner highlight and the brow bone highlight, or for a lid shade, it is absolutely amazing, especially if you do put the eye drops on it and a little bit of eyelash glue. It's bomb. So I'm just going to take my Too Faced glitter glue and this e.l.f. Professional Concealer Brush, and I'm just going to take, I can't talk, a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of this. And I'm just going to pop it right on the inner corner for the highlight to stick to. And then I'm going to put eye drops on that same brush. And then I'm just going to take the Artist Couture powder, and I'm going to put it right in here. Do you see that? That's so intense and so pretty. And I'm just going to slightly blend it onto the lid. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm just going to peel off the tape, gently of course. And as you can see, we have a nice clean line, and I just kind of make sure I go like this so that if anything is on there, it just comes right off. Now for eyeliner, I'm going to take this one by Kat Von D. This is the Mad Max Brown. If you watched my last tutorial, you will know that all of my black eyeshadows are really dry, so I want to use black for this, but I don't currently have one that isn't like really, really dry, so I'm just going to go in with this one. Now I'm just going to curl my lashes really quickly. I've said this before, but I'm not entirely sure where this curler is from, but it works really, really well. You can just go to the drugstore. Personally, I think that drugstore ones work perfectly the same as high-end ones, so I'm just going to go ahead and curl them. Now for mascara, I'm going to use the one that has been my favorite for forever. Not forever, but since I bought it, which was like a month ago. It is the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara, and I'm just going to give my top lashes a coat.
That was my first and last mistake. I'm blue without you.
Okay, so I went ahead and did my face and I popped on lashes. These are the Nicole X Allure eyelashes. These are the casually glamorous ones. I really, really like these. So next we're going to do our lower lash line. And also, if you want to see how I did my foundation, I'll leave a foundation routine in my description box down below as always. Okay, so for the lower lash line, we're going to start by taking Curfew by Makeup Geek, and I'm just going to take it. It's like it doesn't have a name or like who it's by or anything, but it's basically just flat this way and longer this way. So I'm just going to take that on the end of this, and I'm just going to pack that.
She said, boy, I want you to walk right, so I can give you one more chance.
Then I'm going to pick up Cherry Cola by Makeup Geek. These both we did use on the upper eye in the crease. Okay, so now for the waterline, I'm going to take Earthline by MAC Cosmetics, and I'm just going to line my waterline. Okay, so for this look, you could do a nude lip or kind of like a monochromatic like look and do purple. So for the nude lip, I'm going to go ahead and do the purple one, but if I was going to do the nude lip, I would definitely go with Kat Von D Liquid Lip and Bow and Arrow. I think it would look really, really good with this because it has kind of like a really neutral undertone, so it doesn't have too much pink or too much brown. But for the lips today, I'm going to be mixing two. One is by Milani and one is by MAC. So the one by Milani is called Sangria. This is number 21. And I'm just going to go ahead off camera because I don't have lip liner to go with this, so it'll take a second. I'm going to go ahead and apply this all over my lips. Okay, so this lip is definitely a lot darker, or a lot brighter than I remember it. So I'm going to go ahead and take MAC Viva Glam Ariana Grande Matte Lipstick. This is a really, really dark one. Yeah, that's the only name it has. And I'm just going to kind of blot it over it to see if it will kind of darken it up a little bit. Okay, so this is more the color I was looking for. You could definitely just go in with the MAC lipstick. And as you can see, it's all over my lips because I was blotting and I was like messing up. So I'm going to take some Kat Von D concealer. This is in the shade L7 Warm. And I'm going to take it on a tiny brush and I'm just going to outline my lips wherever I need it. Okay guys, so this is the final result. I just finished cleaning up my lips. One important thing to realize when you're cleaning up your lipstick with concealer is that you use a shade that is your skin tone, or in my case, the skin tone of this foundation, because this foundation is definitely not my skin tone. Because if you use one that you highlight with, it'll look like you have a white ring around your mouth. Oh, I gotta sneeze. No, I don't. Okay. So yeah, and also if you're not using liquid lipstick, be sure to have plenty of product on your brush when you're going in with it so that it doesn't end up mixing with the lipstick. It actually covers it. So I just wanted to say that. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment down below. I would really appreciate it. And thank you for watching. Bye guys.